You know, when you hear Elon Musk talk about the future, it can be pretty unsettling, right? His predictions often feel less like exciting possibilities and more like, well, dark warnings. It's easy to feel a little anxious, like we're all on a runaway train to a future we can't control. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if the chaos isn't a bug but a feature? Today, we're diving into a fascinating perspective that suggests his prophecies aren't warnings at all, but a roadmap. Okay, so take this classic Musk line. Humans might become AI's pets. Yikes. I mean, that's the stuff of sci-fi nightmares, and it's exactly what grabs all the headlines. It feeds this widespread fear that we're about to lose control. But hold that thought, because the viewpoint we're exploring today argues that this fear is just a symptom of missing the real story. So which is it? Are we hurtling towards a terrifying future? Or is all of this, the chaos and the disruption, part of some grand cosmic plan? The argument here is that Musk's words aren't just his own wild opinions. They're messages, clues about a cosmic script for humanity that's already been written. And this is the core of it all. The idea that Elon Musk is not just a brilliant, eccentric billionaire. He's something more. He's positioned as one of the few people on the planet who actually knows the cosmic scenario for our evolution. A messenger, here to prepare us for a massive, and I mean massive, shift in what it means to be human. All right, so first up, a messenger's prophecy. We're going to really dig into this idea of Musk not as the guy building the future, but as the courier delivering the blueprint for a future that's already been designed. It's a small shift in perspective, but it changes everything. Okay, on to our second section, the end of the labor religion. Now, you've heard Musk say things like, AI is going to take all the jobs, and it sounds like a threat, doesn't it? But what if he's not actually talking about jobs? What if he's talking about dismantling an entire belief system we've been trapped in for thousands of years? Yeah, the labor religion. What is that exactly? Well, it's this deep-seated belief that's been drilled into us for centuries. This idea that hard work, struggling and toiling away just to earn a living, is somehow a noble and virtuous thing. This perspective basically calls that what it is, a form of brainwashing instilled by the ruling classes to keep us busy. So just look at how this completely flips the script. The old brainwashing told us that toil is a virtue. The new reality, it's about the freedom to play. We're supposed to evolve from being defined as workers to becoming homo ludens, that's Latin for playing man, or maybe even playing gods. And here's the kicker. In this new world, AI isn't the threat that takes our jobs. It's the tool that breaks our chains. It's our liberation. Okay, so if the very concept of work is about to vanish, what happens to the people at the top of that system? You know, the doctors, the lawyers, the engineers? Well, that brings us to our third section. And get ready for this title, Salvation of the Elites. Yeah, you heard me right, salvation. And according to this theory, the clock is ticking. This isn't some far-off, distant future thing. It points to a specific year for this great reset to really kick off, 2026. That's supposedly the year when all the old ways we measure value, your degree, your job title, your salary, they just start to crumble and become meaningless. Now, this is where it gets really counterintuitive. The idea that the collapse of all these high-status, left-brain jobs isn't a disaster, it's a salvation. I mean, a salvation from what? It sounds absolutely crazy, but there's a fascinating logic to it. This chart explains it perfectly. It's called the Great Value Inversion. See that first bar? The value of all those technical left-brain skills, it's going to plummet because AI will do it all faster and better. So what becomes priceless? Look at those other two bars skyrocketing. Right brain talents, art, creativity, intuition, and maybe most importantly, just your humanity, your charm, your sense of humor, your ability to connect with other people. That becomes the new gold. This brings us to section 4, and honestly, this might be the most mind-bending part of this whole prophecy. We're talking about Mars. We all think of it as humanity's plan B, right? The ultimate escape pod if things go wrong here on Earth. But what if its true purpose is something else entirely? So we have to ask again, why is he really building a path to Mars? Seriously, think about it. If Earth is on the verge of becoming a paradise where we get to play and create, why would anyone want to leave for a cold, barren planet? The answer provided here is far stranger and way more profound than simple survival. It's a shelter for the third dimension. Just let that phrase sink in for a minute. Mars isn't an escape plan for us. It's a sanctuary, a refuge for all the souls who aren't ready for Earth's next big evolutionary leap. So think of Mars as a kind of cosmic Noah's Ark. It's a separate school, a different learning environment for souls who need to continue their journey in the reality they're used to. So it's not about abandoning anyone. It's about providing a different path forward for everyone. From this universal perspective, it's actually a profound act of love and compassion, a way of ensuring the whole human species is preserved. So where does that leave us? This brings us to the final act of this cosmic drama. We've talked about Musk as a messenger, the end of work as a liberation, and Mars as a cosmic arc. So, what does it all mean for you and me, right here, right now? Let's be crystal clear about this. According to this interpretation, Elon Musk is not here to be our savior, not even close. His role is to be the destroyer. He's the guy with the cosmic sledgehammer, here to shatter the old systems, the old beliefs, and the old religions, like the labor religion, to clear the way for what's next. And what comes next, after all that breaking and collapsing? That's supposedly the paradise we've all been secretly waiting for. A world free from the obligation to toil, where our value isn't tied to what we do, but to who we are. The chaos and destruction aren't the end of the story. They're just the messy first chapter of a much better one. So here's the ultimate takeaway, the mental tool you can use. The next time you see chaos in the news, when it feels like everything is falling apart, instead of feeling fear, try this mantra. Just think to yourself, it's breaking down smoothly. I'm excited for the new world. It's amazing how it reframes everything. You go from being a victim of change to an excited passenger on the ride. And really, that's what this all boils down to. The old world is breaking. This perspective says it has to break for something new and better to be born. It suggests a new world is just over the horizon, one with totally different rules and values. So the only question left to ask yourself is, are you ready?